Are we starting?
Yeah.
Oh, so I don't even know what's going on. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Just Enough Heshy show. My Instagram fans, my YouTube fans, my Facebook fans, and whoever comes on the show afterwards. But I want to say hello to my co-host first, even though you people don't see them on Instagram, but everybody else does. George, how are you?
Hi, Heshy. How are you doing today?
George is welcome back to the show. Today he gave me a contract, and that boy is just robbing me blind. But I love him.
I just want some of that money from the mattress. Just a little bit.
He tells me he has to pay his taxes. What do you want from me, boy? You know what I mean? I can't pay mine. I got one more check to go. Oh, thank God, because Linda's eating my heart up. And this beautiful
I love that style of negotiation. Cry.
What cry? He doesn't understand. But I'm going to tell everybody about my wedding, about the grandchild.
Your wedding?
I take credit for everything. I'm going to tell you why. And look at this. Look how she's smiling at me. We were talking all about you today. Today I met. First of all, Nicole, how are you, gorgeous, beautiful woman?
I'm all right. How are you?
Okay, good. You know, I'm wearing a pink tie, so my workers were screaming at me, "Oh, you're a woman." I said, yes. My woman feminine side, because, you know, with the woke thing, I'm allowed to say that, right?
No, maybe you'll come out as transgender or something.
Transgender, but that's, you know.
You identify as a woman today.
You know, Biden now, on immigration papers, has a third gender.
No, you're kidding me.
I swear,
What's
yeah.
the third gender?
I don't know. I think
They, them, no?
It's really, look on the immigration paperwork, Miss Lawyer. They have a third gender. But anyways, welcome back to the show, you beautiful girl. So today I met a Puerto Rican Italian. Wow, a fireman.
Nice.
A fireman. And I met a woman fire inspector. I love her. I gave her a hug. Her name is Vanessa. Wonderful lady. And she said, you can't just be grabbing women on the street. And I said to her, you are my hero. Even though she came to give me a violation, but at the end they didn't because they understood me because I'm so smart. Anyways, look how she's smiling. I am. I really am. You don't even know how smart I am.
So Heshy's catching up to the 21st century.
I like it.
Oh, gosh. Anyways, everybody, welcome to the show again. We have a lot to talk about. We have a lot of things to do. And I'm so happy to get my call because last week I was sitting here all bored by myself. And I just was, you know, I was blind. I didn't know who to grab.
I just saw you in a field of white. I thought you were in the insane asylum broadcasting.
Right. They shut off my
See,
mic.
jacket.
You know, our co-host just sometimes doesn't want me to speak. Can you laugh? Can you make some kind of a funny sound there, co-host? Anyways.
He's gonna make a jackass sound in a minute.
Yeah, most probably he will. Okay. But my thing, I hear you moving to New York.
Yeah, right. Not quite.
We're trying to get
Not
everybody
quite.
who wants Nicole to move to New York. Please call into
Yeah,
the show.
He's starting a petition.
There's buses every day that come into New York for free.
Yeah, between 8 and 12. Right?
Call into the show, 646-974-1580. Soon we're going to tell everybody on the radio, YouTube, Facebook, and Nicole and my delicious friend George, who's just robbing me blind, is, I love you, George.
I just want a little piece of the mattress. Just a little
Piece of the mattress, he put his hand down there and took the whole mattress.
Stop. Yeah, but you know what? When you win the election,
I love this girl. Go ahead. Not win.
When you win the election,
girl.
I think it'll all be worth it. You see, look at George and be like, George,
Oh,
I
yeah.
love you.
George says, no,
I
when you
love
win,
you, George.
George says, when you win the election, I want to raise. I raise you, empty out my account.
He brought you to victory. Isn't it worth everything?
True. You see, look
It's
at
priceless.
You're lucky you have that
call
lawyer
it-
sitting
you know what
next to
we
you.
call it?
That's
If
a good
she was
attorney.
supposed to sit next to me, this little word, you know, she's supposed to defend me.
We call it a priceless investment, Heshy. Priceless investment.
Well, all I know is
Listen, you can get the C squad or you can get the A team.
I got that. And last time I had the C squad, now I got the A.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to speak ill of other people, but you know.
We should speak ill of other people.
You know
but
what we say as lawyers when we're doing retainers that are more expensive than other lawyers? We say, well, you get what you pay for.
and then I find out now that lawyer wasn't even a Republican. He was a Democrat lawyer, but he's part of the Young
He
Republican
was a
Club.
Democrat lawyer, and he ran for mayor too.
But how is he part of the Young Republican Club if he's a Democrat?
He's not a member of the club. He's affiliated with them.
What's wrong with a Democrat lawyer?
You know, I love.
But he's an election lawyer for Republicans.
That's a smart guy.
I didn't know that. I would have never hired him.
Why? Why? The best defense lawyers were once prosecutors.
Not really.
Yeah,
Not
really. Like
not
your
really.
best bet is to have worked
You
for
guys
the
want
other
to
team
switch
for a while.
sides.
Sure.
But the truth of the matter is the best defense lawyers are the ones who beat you prosecutors. And I always beat the prosecutor when I can, except when I went to jail for 9 months and 1 week. Anyways, welcome to my show, all you listeners at WSNR 620 AM. Say, guys, say welcome to them.
Hey, everybody! Welcome to the show.
Hey, everybody.
Listeners and NEW FM HD3, welcome to our show, and as well as WPVIDL. I can never get that number around in Miami. Welcome to the Just Enough Heshy show with my co-host George and my beautiful co-host lawyer Nicole. We have a lot to talk about tonight. We have a lot of people that we're going to discuss the things about, and I have a lot of questions. Again, thank God Nicole is back, so I have a whole bunch of legal stuff for her to discuss.
Love it.
And I'm going to try to con her to move to New York.
Talking about legal stuff, did you see about the University of Berkeley?
Yeah.
Yes.
Tell her.
So did you see that? So the dean of the University of Berkeley Law School has a dinner with all the graduates, and at in case anyone doesn't know in the audience, and one of the ladies there was Palestinian or Arabic, and in the middle of the dinner, as she was leaving, she probably had reporters out there and everything. She starts going into the defund Israel thing, the defund movement, whatever they call it. I think they have a movement for it, a name for it. But anyway, and she was claiming, well, it's a First Amendment, and the wife was trying to tackle her and take her out, take her down. So, did you see the video?
I saw the video. What I don't understand is we're allowing this lawlessness to go up. People being hurt. These guys don't even know what's going on.
It's also natural, it's courtesy. The dean invited you to his home.
Right.
It's a good connection for you to make, and here
And
you're
you
going to
act a fool. Yeah.
and you're going to blow it up because you want to make a political statement.
Every year we have this Kojo event where we invite all the stupid politicians. And I went to meet all of them. And this year, all of them spoke to me. And George would be proud because when the mayor came in, I went over to the mayor. Hi, Mayor. It's on my video today. How are you? I'm Heshy Tishley. You know who I am? He says, yes, of course I know you are. And I gave the mayor a kiss, like I kiss everybody. I actually kissed this mayor. And
We have that on video?
We have it on video.
Oh, my
and I have a
gosh.
picture on the introducing video. The point is all the Jewish rabbis were saying it's a good thing, Heshy, that you did not scream at the mayor. There was no reason to scream at the mayor. Whether he's doing a good job or bad job, I like him. Schumer, on the other hand, who's a Jew, who got up and talked bad about our Jewish brothers and sisters, and he gets always awards, and they get him up to speak. So we were waiting for him to show up at this great Kojo dinner, and all these... He never showed up. Me and Dov Hyken stood by the door waiting to scream at him and embarrass him. He didn't show up.
What is
He's
the
a chicken.
Why is the Jewish community mad at him? Just to be clear to everybody.
Because he's one of those self-loathing Jews.
So right, he wants he wants Israel to fire Netanyahu, the prime minister, and give Palestinians a state. Now here he is, his own brothers and sisters that were murdered on October the 7th. And I have no problem, Mr. Schumer. You want to get involved with Israel? No problem. You have enough problems in New York City between crime and money and budgets and so on. You're busy, and you have a presidential election that you don't know what's going on, and you're also trying to impeach our presidents. And here you're busy running around with Israel, getting involved with their politics and people.
Did you hear the latest on the proposed Hamas deal? So Israel said, "Hey, we'll give you a 6-week ceasefire to start.
6 to 8 weeks.
We want 40 hostages." And Hamas said, "We don't even have 40 hostages."
Right. We don't even. And there's
How many we thought?
They have 100 and something left.
We thought we had 100 alive. For them to say we don't have 40
They
hostages,
misplaced 40.
Well, they didn't misplace them.
no.
They killed them.
They don't know because Israel gave them a criteria. They said we want 40 hostages: women, children, sick, or elderly men. And they said we don't have 40 that meet that criteria, which means everybody they're dead, right? The
It's not
majority
they're
of
dead.
who
You're
they
making a
have
mistake.
are military
See,
aged
that's
men.
you people think they're dead, and you're right. Some
How
of
can
them
you
are
not
dead
think they're dead?
because they sold a lot of them into slavery. They do sell women to other Arab nations. They buy them, especially women. They have the Arab people have sex slavery all over the Middle East over there. It's a shame that what I'm saying right now. Children and women are sold all the time, and the Arabs buy them. Even Jewish girls, they buy them, and the girls forget where they're coming from. It's a bad thing. We have also
Really? You
missing
think they're
children.
being trafficked? Is that your...
There's trafficking, yes. I'm ashamed to tell you that there
Well,
are
I mean,
Jewish
there's
girls.
Honestly,
many years ago when I was dating,
In America,
there
too,
was
we
many
have
women
children.
who would go over to Dubai for 6 months, get their passport taken, and they would come back with like $500,000 all of a sudden.
Sometimes.
Wow. Yeah, no, I
Sometimes
think
they
it's been-
disappear, and sometimes they get really sorry, they get cheated. Not all of these guys are good guys. Anyways, we're going to start our show. I have a very interesting story to tell you guys later on, but I want to give you my quote. My son had a beautiful baby boy about a week and a half ago.
Congratulations.
Beautiful Briss, and we named him Benjamin Hillel, which is BH for Big H. And, well, I need something. They don't want to give me any name. And my other son, Abraham, is having a baby tonight, tomorrow, the next night. Right, any minute. He's here.
The producer,
The
Abraham?
producer, yeah. We're having a baby any moment.
Well, it's not him. It's his wife. Let's be clear on
right,
that.
right.
We have to be clear in these days.
We have to,
right.
come
Because
on.
there's no birthing mothers.
There's no way
birthing
that a
persons.
man can
Birthing
have a
persons.
baby. I don't care what you're saying with the transgender.
Well, Nicole's people
Yeah.
think they can.
First of all, they're not my people. Hold on.
Anyways, and of course, you know about, I know he's not listening to the show, but Jacob is going to, my little one, my last one, is going to be engaged tomorrow night.
The one with the 12 dates? How many dates did that take?
It's already 19 dates,
There are
by the way.
19 dates.
19
They're
dates.
pretty
Matter of fact,
active, those
last
two.
night he drove all the way from Lakewood to get a date because I told him he has to hit 20 dates. And he drove in, then he couldn't drive back. He came home at 2 in the morning. I heard somebody walking around. Linda got all nervous. I said, who's walking around our house 2 in the morning? Only Yaakov would come up. Nobody's climbing. Even a burglar doesn't want to climb up
So
4 flights of stairs to my house.
But you have an elevator, don't you?
No. Look at you, Mr. Man. I'm not that wealthy. Me and Linda walk up those flights 20 times.
That's how you stay fit. That's how you stay fit.
And I don't, but you know, because I sit down there at benches on the way up.
So can I ask a question here?
One minute, so Yaakov went back to Lakewood, dropped off his car, then got on a bus, came back again because he has another date tomorrow night. With tomorrow night, he's officially proposing.
What do you
Date 21.
What do you do on these 19 dates if you're not?
So Yaakov is a pretty cool kid, and we discussed it. We said, you know,
I gotta know. I mean, I'm sorry.
He went to a Dave and Buster's where they play games.
so
He went
cute.
to a board game place. He went in the beginning like an idiot to some kind of a hotel lounge for
What?
drinks.
Oh,
a lounge.
okay.
Wow, look at Nicole. Nicole, come on, you're a Jewish girl. You didn't.
I'm a nice Jewish girl.
I
at
know
that.
that.
But
Okay,
I mean,
we don't
I know
go
a
to
thing or
know
two, though.
No, but and that's what he does. And he's learning to speak to her. Yaakov has been brought up a little bit more modern, and this girl was a more modern girl. Even though now they're super religious, but they do want to spend time together, just bowling, and then they go out to a cafe to chat or for a dinner. So I think they're getting very close.
You know what that sounds like? A lot of frustration.
Well, I didn't think Yaakov would be so excited about going to meet her, and it looks like she has control of him. And they don't do Saturday nights because she's busy and he's busy and Shabbos. So she actually is making this boy who wouldn't even come home for Shabbos and sit in synagogue. He comes home for dates and goes out with her. And likes her.
She should. That's called courting. Good
Well,
for her.
yeah, I don't want to lose this one, so I'm very good to go. So we got her an extra. By the way, the bracelet broke me. There's no money left under the mattress. Zero. Not a single dollar.
Black Beauty wants to know if they went to an amusement park.
They did.
That's hilarious.
Happens to be not a real amusement park, one of those indoors.
I thought they were going to save that for the wedding.
No.
Yeah, really.
I love you, but they went to this Palisades Mall. You ever heard
In
of that?
Jersey?
Yeah.
Oh.
He took her to Jersey. There's a
Wait,
mall.
American Dream?
Something like that.
Oh, the one with the Nickelodeon amusement
I
park
don't
inside?
know.
Oh, that
All
place is
that-
banging.
Right,
That place
so-
is awesome. That's in East Rutherford.
All I can tell you is my credit card has been banged up real badly with
Oh,
all
he's
that
taking
money.
her out on your dime?
Well, he doesn't
What
work.
kinda-
He does
what?
work for me. He works for me, right?
How's he going to get married if he doesn't work?
That's what I've been saying. He wants me
You know what, Heshy? I've decided. I'm not going to charge you a fee, but give me your credit card.
I love you too, Joe. First of all, you have no problem with it. It's your Heidi, your wife, that I'm scared of. I saw those shoes. She's not normal. Okay, I'm joking with you. You know what I mean?
No, it's okay.
You know those shoes.
I
were
want my wife to
Red
look
bottoms?
good.
Tell me they're red bottoms. Are they red
Five-
bottoms?
no,
They
they're
better be
not red bottoms.
No,
Oh.
no, she doesn't overdo it. She only goes halfway to the girl.
But
Anyway,
she's really into
Jimmy
boots.
Choo's?
I want to talk to you about.
Boots.
I want to
Good
talk
for
to you.
you.
I want to tell you my quote, and this is about children, because children excite me. I mean, excite me in a way that to make a life a better world. And me and George were talking about. If we lose our babies, we would lose our life. So we fight for them every moment. And I want you to hear. Sometimes the littlest things take up the most room in your heart. Children bring us peace of heaven on earth. The amazing thing about becoming a parent is that you will never again be your own first priority, which is true.
Very true.
And all kids need a little help, a little hope, and somebody who believes in them. And every child brings the world again. That's what I believe in that. And here's my best quote. Before I got married, I had 24 theories about raising children. Now that I had 21 foster children and 3 of my own, I have no more theories.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Michael Smith says that we're all going to the wedding. I told
You are. You're all invited to the wedding.
Told you.
I'm going to post it.
The
You're
entire
all
city.
invited. I don't care. I'm going to pay. Well, I can't afford it, but I'm going to pay. Anyways, here's a joke. I tried it out on my staff today because we have lunch in my office. I pay for the lunch. Again, I'm broke. And they just keep buying. They don't even care. They have no mercy.
I told you. I think the move is get his credit card.
Yeah, so anyways, so I tried out the joke on my staff, and it didn't really go over so well. But I think it is a good joke, so let me tell it to you. Hold on, he's pointing. We have a commercial. We're going to do the commercial in a minute, but I got to say the joke. Anyways, I like to fly. I used to be a travel agent, and really, Linda doesn't really like to fly anymore. We're going to be maybe driving down to Florida. So my nephew got himself his pilot license. He finally got it, and he bought himself a little Cessna plane. Very nice plane. Yeah, bought himself his own plane. It's a lot of money. These are not cheap, the little planes. Anyways, we're flying in the air. Are you not listening to my joke? We're flying in the air, and all of a sudden we get one of the towers calls us, and they say, "Hey, flight number 271, come in. The control tower advised us, is advising you to turn 45 degrees for noise abatement." So I ask Michael, what kind of noise can you have up here at 35,000 feet? He says, "Listen, Heshy, when a 747 hits us, there'll be a lot of noise." Oh, come on. That was funny. There's no possible way that wasn't funny.
Do we have a cricket sound effect over here?
I hate them. Anyways, I thought it was very funny. By the way, as you know, anonymous calls to 311 is, and I want to ask you this, Mrs. Lawyer, okay? And we're going to start.
Not
Miss Lawyer, you call 911 to make false calls. Isn't that some kind of felony and stuff? Okay. So it should be the same way.
It's not a felony, but it is. It's a criminal.
It's a criminal thing.
Offense, yes.
Okay. So shouldn't calling 311 and make false complaints be criminal as well?
To a city official?
Yeah. It's a city agency. Because I have people calling the city agencies when they're upset with their neighbor or somebody else. False calls, 600, 750 calls. Now I have two neighbors fighting with each other, and they're calling on each other, and I'm sitting there. I'm not letting the inspectors in. They're threatening to come in with warrants and stuff, and I laugh at them. Today when I whipped out my Constitution out of my pocket, so I was showing, and he says, "Quote me the Fourth Amendment." And I read the whole Fourth Amendment to him. He was such a very nice inspector. The second one, the Chinese guy, wasn't good.
Which one were you arguing with earlier today when I called you and you were just yelling at God knows who?
Oh, that was my first. That was 8:00 in the morning, 8:30. That was an inspector who I passed every inspection. And this guy shows up and says, "Well, I'm here to pass you, but I don't like what the first inspector did." I said, "You can't do that." And I was on the phone at the same time with a hearing with the court.
Yeah. He had like 3 phones going at once, and then he had me on the line.
Right, and I won my court
off.
case. I passed my vacate order, but again, inspectors can change the line. So another inspector came in afterwards and was telling me that I'm going to get into the building. I said, "No, the Fourth Amendment doesn't allow it, and I'm quoting it to you, and I'm telling you the rules that I can reject you. Oh, I'm going to threaten you. We'll get a warrant." I said, "Listen to me. We're not letting you into a house that has no work going on, that some anonymous person called you, which is
I've been
again,
doing this for 30 years.
Right, you heard me say that.
Going
I'm telling him I'm very experienced. I said, "You don't know what you're talking about." I said, "You're never getting into that. And you think you're going to get a warrant that we don't do drugs, we don't have sex, we don't have nothing. You're going to get in
You
because
guys are boring.
you don't like our sink or an extra toilet bowl? Really? That's what you're going to spend $10,000 on?" So you people in America should know that. And then an inspector, when I wasn't looking, walked into my backyard. I have it on video. Walked in.
Of your clients.
Of my no, because my backyard in this particular building on another client.
Is there a gate?
There's a gate, but we left it open. Doesn't make a difference. So I said to him, "What are you doing here?" He says, "Oh, it's public." I said, "What public?" He said, "It's a parking lot. It's my parking lot. I'm letting people park here." I said, "The gate is open, but just like if my door was open and I wasn't dressed, doesn't mean you can come in and rape me. Just because but that's a fact,
little
Mr. Lawyer.
extreme. A little
Right,
extreme.
But one minute. So if my door is open, you can come in?
To a home? You can't come in.
No.
So again, private property is the same way. You cannot trespass on a property without permission.
Does the parking lot have a sign that says it's private parking?
It does,
Right.
but it was just open gate. The gate was open. You couldn't see the sign.
Well,
Okay, so in my house, I do have the signs posted that say no trespassing,
trespassing.
private property, and beware of dog.
Good.
The reason why you put always a beware of dog.
so they think there's a dog and they don't rob you.
No, because if an inspector gets injured on your site by a dog, you can't collect workman's comp. So if you tell him there's a dog there that he could be injured, and he gets injured, he can't collect workman's comp because he was known that there could be a possible way. So always remember that. Anyways, that's the story there with that situation.
I thought you were the dog.
I am the dog.
He's the pit bull.
I'm going to get them. But my dear friends in New York City, I did meet the mayor. I did give him a hug. I am trying to compromise. I am going to win this election. And while I'm there at this event, Mr. Pinnywingle comes over to me. The man doesn't live in the district. He says, I'm going to run. I said, but you can't run because you don't live in my neighborhood. Oh, I don't have to live in your neighborhood during election, which is George is telling me that.
Not true.
That can't be right.
He says, no,
The only
only
one-
after he gets elected, he has to move in. That's what he says. I said, it's not true. You have to be there. He says, not on a special election. I don't have to live in your district.
Well, I'm pulling the rules on this special election because I hear a million different stories.
Right. So I told him, I said to him very simple. I said, you ratted me out during the COVID. You had me arrested with your mayor. Now, I don't rat on anybody ever, no matter what. But if you do,
I've been pulling beautiful pictures of him with de Blasio.
But all I can tell you is, if he does anything wrong, there's no way he can collect that money without getting discounts or giving student
Why
loans.
do you laugh, Nicole? Because he's going to scrub
But
up.
Nicole, if you noticed, I go one at a time. Everybody's challenging my donations. I'm talking to my clients. I'm telling them, listen, there's no discounts. You give it freely if you want. Don't give it freely. Give me $10. I want $175. And people like what I do for them. And I give everybody free advice. Everybody. You don't have to hire me. You don't have to hire me. But if you give me a donation, that's fine. And if you come and use me, do I give you a discount on your services? That's me and you to discuss and negotiate. But remember, like I told you, I don't work with clients. I know you don't like this part, Miss Lawyer, who I don't like. I don't like you. I don't want to take you
No,
on as a
I think
client.
that's great.
That's
Sometimes
fair.
you have to fire a
That's
customer.
fair.
That's right.
I've done
And my
it.
clients
I've
can't
done it.
take it. I have now a guy who said, I'm paying you. I said, I don't want your money. I even did it with a judge almost, but that I took on. Anyways, that is a bunch of stuff there. Now, I have a question for you. Mr. Donald Trump, you have a big, now Fox has to pay $787.5 million, the largest defamation settlement against Dominion voting.
Oh, yes, I
Okay?
remember that.
I got that. They lost the case.
They lost
They're
the
gonna
appeal. They
it.
must have lost the appeal
No,
because
no.
that ruling was from years ago.
No,
was
that
a
ruling
year or
is
two
now.
ago.
That ruling is right now.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought they already lost that one.
They lost a different one, but this is something that they lost right now. How come the Attorney General is not forcing them to pay it now, or they're taking away their lands or properties?
You assume they have lands and
It
properties.
doesn't make Fox News.
Yeah, but Fox News probably has billions of dollars.
Billions of dollars. How come you're not threatening them like you threatened Trump the next day? He better put up the money. You got to give us time to raise the money. What do you mean you're not giving us time? What do you mean you're rushing
it's a
into
corporate
it?
appeal, well, for starters. And by the way,
Because
I don't
you
speak
want
for
to
the Attorney
bankrupt,
General.
but
No,
you want to
hold on.
bankrupt Trump,
Hold
which
on.
is wrong, right?
You can't ask
George?
me a question and then come up with your own
I'm
answer.
sorry. Go ahead.
Right. So Trump is an individual. Fox News is a corporation. So the chances of Fox News running off and bailing or calling bankruptcy or doing something to skirt their financial obligation is probably less likely
No,
than an individual.
corporations go
getting-
bankrupt after such a thing.
Oh,
They
and-
file for corporation,
Sure
they file
do.
for
They're
Chapter
jerk-offs.
11,
They're
and they
jerk-offs.
protect, right.
But the likelihood of them doing it or doing it with the same speed that an individual could skirt that responsibility is probably less. It's a probability game.
Does-
right? So
did
is that
Mayor-
the
does-
reason
does
she's not doing
Mayor-
it? I don't know.
does
But if
Ma-
you ask me, that's why I would.
Does Giuliani get away with it that he declared bankruptcy? Does he get to keep everything with his bankruptcy?
No, he's going to lose his shirt, man.
Why?
He's going to lose his
They
shirt.
liquidate,
Bankruptcy.
everything, and
liquidate
they
it. That's what they're gonna do.
They pay
But
whatever they can.
I feel bankruptcy protects your home.
Okay,
man,
no, so hold on. So there's different types of
Good.
bankruptcies.
Now we're going to learn something.
All right, this is what I do every day. So there's different types of bankruptcies if you're filing as an individual, which I believe Giuliani is, and I'm not sure which chapter. So there's Chapter 7 and there's Chapter 13. A Chapter 7 is the one that we think about, where they liquidate you and they use whatever you got left, but then once you run out of money, they strip everything else. Right? And that's usually for people that don't, they have homes, but the homes don't have much equity in them. Right? That's a Chapter 7.
How far down do they go in the liquidation? Do they take the suit off your back?
No, no, oh my God.
No, I'm just asking.
No, it's funny.
I never want that to happen to
but
me.
No. There's personal exemptions. So you have personal exemptions, right? It's $1,000 off your bank account. You have personal exemptions for your what you own, clothes, toiletries, things like that. Your car, you need it to get to work.
How about jewelry?
No.
And remember, look at
right,
OJ.
so-
OJ, you couldn't touch his pension.
Because if I was Rudy Giuliani, I'd buy.
Pensions are not part of a bankruptcy.
What do you mean?
I mean exactly what I said.
You can't touch it.
No.
You can't touch what?
Pensions.
What
That's
about
why-
collectibles with OJ?
Collectibles, you can. You'd have to sell them off. But you get one personal vehicle. There's a certain number of personal exemptions, like a dollar amount, $1,000 out of your bank account, clothes and personal effects. Everything else
Homes. I thought homes are protected, especially in Florida.
To an extent, right? Homes are protected to the extent that they don't have enough equity in them to pay off your creditors, right?
Well, I know Texas is your home is completely protected. So that's why these oil guys, during the boom and bust, they would buy a big home with a ranch, and they can't touch the home.
Because it's personal home.
Oh, really?
That's a personal home.
A homestead, right?
But that's a Texas thing.
It's a state specific. But Chapter 13 is different. So it depends on which one Giuliani's filing.
What's Chapter 13?
Chapter 13, unlike Chapter 7 where you're liquidating debt, Chapter 13 you're restructuring debt. So oftentimes Chapter 13 is where you have a nice big house. You may not have any other assets, right? You might be like losing your shirt to your creditors at that point, but it may come to a point where you might have to sell the house, and then that will pay off the creditors, but then there's so much equity in that house that you're going to get the surplus, right?
Of course.
So Chapter 13 is like, they call it a straight repay. It's usually a 5-year restructured payment plan. You strip the liens. You use, you kind of are able to.
Can you negotiate these to a discounted?
Like a cram down?
Right.
There are cram down processes sometimes. It really depends on how much equity you have in your whole portfolio.
By the way,
say
Nicole,
you have no equity whatsoever, and you say, listen, make a deal with me and I'll try to raise this money for you. Is that acceptable?
So we do that sometimes, right? Like in my
There's no money. I have no money, and then I owe $500,000.
Do you have a job?
I have a job, but I'm making no money. But I don't have to give you money if I don't have any money out of the job. You can't suck me dry, right?
Well, yes, you can. If there's a judgment against you, it's called a wage garnishment. They
Right.
can absolutely garnish your paychecks. So yes, they can.
So then
How
I
much
stop.
of that paycheck can they take?
Yeah, how much can they take?
A certain percentage. It's no more than I think it's like 10. It's 10% of your pay. Then if you're paying anybody else,
So
they can't take the whole thing.
That's what I'm saying.
So big deal. If you're making $400,000 a year, so they take $40,000 a year. That's not enough to pay off any creditors if you owe like $1 million. But my question is say that I have no money, and I say I have no money, and I want to make a deal with everybody, and you guys went and you negotiate for 30 cents, 40 cents on the dollar.
Yeah.
So then I start to make money. That's acceptable. They give you time to pay it off, or I can borrow the money from a friend, pay it off, and then I'm in better shape.
So if you're in a bankruptcy, right? So people that want to negotiate their debt, we typically say do it before the bankruptcy, right? Whatever you can negotiate, negotiate
but before
out.
the bankruptcy, your creditors don't deal with you. Once you're bankrupt, you have no choice because they get nothing.
Oh, no, not in a 13. If you're bankrupt and you file for bankruptcy, first of all, that puts a cold, wet blanket on any collections activity.
Right.
And it stays any sort of sheriff sale. It stays a foreclosure. It stays
Right.
everything is frozen,
Right.
But that also tells your creditors, hey, this person filed for bankruptcy. If you intend to get paid at all, you better file. You better tell us now or forever hold your peace. So they have a certain amount of time that your creditors have to come in and file their claims for whatever you owe them. The ones that don't file, those will expire, and they're screwed. They're asked out. Everybody else, you end up having to
But
pay
I know
out.
a lot of creditors from 15 years ago that come after you, even after your bankruptcy, and say, oh, you still have an outstanding debt.
First of all,
They didn't even know you were bankrupt. And then they still sent you collection letters. What do you do about that?
that would be dead on arrival, because in most states, every state has a statute of limitations for creditors to be able to collect.
Correct.
Right? So in New Jersey, the statute is 6 years.
New York is 8.32 years.
That's 8.32. That's
Yeah.
funny.
It is.
But
That's a
every
weird
state,
number.
yeah, that's a weird number.
8.32 years. Any judgment that New York City has against you
No, that's
gets
not,
wiped out.
That's not the same. That's not the same. So a collection letter is not the same as saying I have a judgment and I'm pursuing that judgment. Those are different stages in the process. So if you owe somebody money from God knows when, and it's more than 6 years, right, for whatever the statute of limitations is for that state. Some states it's as low as 4. If it's more than that, it goes back too far. That's dead on arrival. And if you start paying, you're an idiot, because then what happens is you've now reset the clock. And now they can start collecting again.
So if you didn't pay somebody a debt for 6 years, he cannot come after and collect.
He can't come after.
Even though you owe him the money.
He can't sue you for it at that point. He lost his window. Now, that is different from saying I have a judgment against you. that means that they sued you in time. They
Right.
sued you before the 6 years, right? And you either defaulted or you lost, one or the other, and they got a judgment, and then they enter that judgment. They go for what's called a writ, right? And that means that they're now collecting on the judgment that you owe.
But that judgment goes away after a certain amount
After
of
a
years.
certain amount of time. In New Jersey, it's 20 years.
I think in New York it's 8.32
So that
years.
might be what you're thinking
Now,
of.
the problem with the city of New York is when they do take you to a court or give you a fine, they don't have to get judgments. They can just say that you defaulted or you owe us the money or whatever it is, and you're screwed. And they put it on your house or your name. So that's why, as long as they don't enter it onto your taxes, which they're trying to do now, every single thing they're trying to put onto your taxes, into your property taxes, then you're screwed because you can't sell the house. Once they have a tax lien on you, you're screwed. But if they don't do that, it does go away after 8.32 years, all fines of the city of New York. I know I do this all the time. I'm happy, but it's
Does
it's
that
only if
include,
it's
like,
other.
if you got a parking ticket? 'Cause
Even
I
a
gotta say, I
parking,
got some
even
old
a
ones.
even a parking ticket, and even a garbage or sanitation ticket, even a building fine, a fire department fine, all goes away as long as it's under $25,000 for some reason. I don't know why they picked that number. Anyways, we spoke about that. Here, I want to talk about Israel a minute.
Oh, good.
You all want to go and talk about Gaza. I believe Israel should destroy. I mean, here's the thing. If you ever look at the television shows, Gaza is completely destroyed.
By the way, this debate came to my office this week with two employees, a Polish guy.
Oh, we didn't do any commercials. Can we do commercials? Co-host, can we do commercials? Hello? Hello? We have to do commercial. I don't even know where they are. So, hello, commercial guys? I swear I had that in front of me before. I guess I lost it. So we're not. Oh, you have it. So anyways, we are going to talk about Green Line. No, is that first? I don't even know what's first. Who knows what's first there? Oh, Green Line. He's talking. Green Line Building Compliance. My company, where I'm great, and I've been saving a lot of people this week. Green Line Building Compliance, located at 202 Forster Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, 11230, 718-871-0382, 718-871-0382. Again, located at 202 Forster Avenue for all your violations, for your permits, your plans, your inspections, your structural details. We can do it from beginning to end and lift your stop work orders and vacate orders. And if you don't believe me, just call Nicole because she can tell you that I'm screaming at all the inspectors. But anyways, watch my show Wednesday night because I introduced myself at Green Line Building Compliance, 202 Forster Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, 11230. Licensed DOB expediters. We have 3 architects, 4 expediters, 2 lawyers, all on staff to take care of all your needs. And then, of course, we have, hello, anybody?
Hello.
Crossroads. No? Or what
Yeah.
do you, George, who
Well,
goes first?
let's pull up the next one.
I don't know. That takes a few minutes. Do we go Crossroads or George? Me? Who cares? Crossroads. Crossroads, really a very good place. And, you know, like I told you, a young boy just killed himself, 13 years old. I had a lady last week who tried to hurt herself and cut her wrists. And this is just a few of the things. If you're depressed, give us a shot. Come to Crossroads. They're located at 206 West Parkway Drive, Suite 1B, whatever, in Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey. 206 West Parkway Drive in Egg Harbor, New Jersey. Call them anytime you want, 609-645-2146, 609-645-2146. You know, depression, it hurts you. I understand you're down. I understand you're out of it. Give it a shot. Don't give up so fast. Life is so beautiful. I know that we struggle. The only thing you have is yourself. All the wealth and all the money and everything hidden under my mattress doesn't count. That's made George smile. Look at that. George is coming to the house tonight. I know he is. He's coming. Anyways,
I didn't know that 4-story walk-up, though. There's better be a lot of money in that.
Oh, and then, of course, we have HeshyTishler.com, my website. I'm there, guys. I know this Penny Ringo character wants to run against me. I know they want to bring back State Senator Simcha Felder. This is a man who's done nothing. He's a senator doing zero. He was a councilman. He quit in the middle of the term. He became what's
Your
called
community likes him, though.
But here's my problem. He disappeared on us doing council job. He disappeared when he was a controller. He went to the state senate, has done nothing. Now he wants to come back. You know why? So he doesn't have to go to the assembly and vote. So he has an easy job here so he can get his retirement pension. That's what you want.
I don't understand. The assembly job is, or Senate job They meet like 60, 65 days
Right.
total.
But he doesn't want to drive to Albany even those few days so he can sit here and have an office here. And I have no idea why you're even thinking of it. But he's trying to come back again. He doesn't live in the district. What they're going to do is open up a fake apartment, and they're going to make believe they live there. And you know what? Just like you did after you went after Chaim Deutsch, I'm going to go after you. I'm not a rat, but you're going to play the game right. You're going to play the game fair, and I'm going to watch you collect your money. Can they use their money that they collected for other campaigns?
That's a Heidi question. And Heshy, listen, we're going to work on your campaign.
Good.
We're going to win this campaign.
I love you.
And you're going to make a lot of noise
George
in the
is
city
so
council.
handsome. You know, by the way,
And I'm going to get all the complaints from every office that you're going to make a lot of noise, and I look forward to
by
it.
the way, George's birthday was this Sunday. George, happy
Well, my birthday's April 1st, but we celebrated this Sunday.
right. So George invited us to a restaurant, and when I'm coming out of the restaurant, I see across the street Palestinian restaurant supporting Palestine.
Are you kidding?
No, and I don't understand you guys.
Well, by the way, to be clear, my event was at a Greek restaurant.
Right. No, it was across the street. But the point is I don't understand you guys. You want clients. Why are you getting involved with politics? Why are you idiot baseball players and actors getting involved with politics? And why is my co-host standing into the camera, the producer? Get out of the camera. We don't even like you. Anyways, go ahead, Georgia. What do we got? George's little.
So look, I started a new program. It's called Fee Eraser. It's feeeraser.com.
Fair
Fee.
fee FEE.
So if you own a retail business or a restaurant and you're tired of paying those credit card fees, processing fees,
Yeah.
we have a program where we can eliminate those fees.
Oh.
And you pay pretty much nothing every month. You pay about $25, $30 in compliance fees.
what-
And that's it.
How do we reach you?
Well, you can call our office, 718-492-1671, or you can go on the website, feeeraser.com, and you fill out the form.
What's the phone number again?
718-492-1671.
You went too quickly. I didn't understand you.
718-492-1671.
I like the way she does it.
Yeah, she says it a lot
does
better
much
than I do.
yeah. Anyways, here's
That's like that's Marilyn Monroe style right there.
What's the number to call in? We got a listener.
Oh,
that may wanna-
646-974-1580. 646-974-1580. I want to tell you guys something. Israel went in and has demolished Gaza. I mean, really, you should see the videos. You guys see the videos. You're not a dumbbell, right? Nicole, it's buildings demolished.
it's a parking lot.
It's worse than a parking lot. It's hell.
Northern Gaza. So, yeah.
The Israelis now have purchased 40,000, I think, tents to when they go into Rafah or Rufa, what's
Rafah.
that? Rafah, so to push the Palestinians, or to tell them, the refugees, to go out. We're going to set you up somewhere else so we can go after the Hamas animals. My point is now we've demolished this land. Why do they want to come back? Why would they? What are they going to do when they come back?
Well,
Well,
first
I
of all,
mean,
they can't
There's
go
no
anywhere.
infrastructure.
They have nowhere
the
else to
Israelis
go.
will leave. What do you mean they have nowhere? You have the whole Palestine. It's still the same country. Gaza is part of Palestine. You're right, it's ruled by Hamas, but it's still part of the Palestinian Authority. Why aren't they taking their refugees, number one? And two, why are you coming back to a land that is not possible to be rebuilt?
Why not? When the Jews came into Israel, there wasn't much going on.
Because we're smart.
My family's from a city called Kiryat Gat.
Right.
Kiryat Gat was a nothing.
My family was
nothing 30 years ago.
Right. My family went to a place called Nir Galim next to Ashdod, a piece of land. I
And look
still
what they
see the
did with
videos.
it.
By the
Look
way,
what they did.
Europe
did
was
with it.
destroyed.
But the Palestinians don't do nothing because the Gaza was given to them a ready-made land. They dug tunnels, which are still there. They're still finding. They're never going to rebuild it. They don't know how. With all the money we're going to give them, they're going to do nothing with it.
Right.
Well,
it's a waste.
Europe got destroyed after World War II, and
And
it
who
was
rebuilt
rebuilt.
it? By America.
Not all,
Right.
not
You
all
know,
of it.
Most of
the
it.
Eastern Europe was rebuilt by the Russians and the Soviet Union. I mean,
Okay.
I'm not pro communist here, but that's just a fact.
Right. And Ukraine, who do you think is going to rebuild Ukraine? America or whatever it is.
No, BlackRock.
I don't. I don't know that that's the right question to ask. Right? It's especially as Jews who all have the right of return. I'm not upset with these people for wanting to go back to what they feel is their home, even if it is destroyed, and I hope they rebuild it. I really do. I'm more upset at the idea of
I don't want
why,
them to rebuild it.
Why is it?
They shouldn't be rebuilding. They built tunnels to torture and kill and murder.
I don't hope
and
they
rape.
rebuild the tunnels. I hope that they find a place
Oh,
that they can establish a home life. The better question is, what is your issue with being able to live in Israel with all the rights and privileges that all your Arab sisters and brothers live with right now? there are Arab Israelis, and they flourish, and they do
Right.
very well.
But they
in
don't want
Israeli
to, so they're
society.
living. Nobody's stopping them. They don't want to live with us. They want to live in Gaza. They want to have their own country. Have it. You know, this week Israel allowed 468 trucks of humanitarian aid.
So this is where the
Do you think?
where-
Do you think the people got their money? Food?
No, of course not.
Hamas took it again.
this is where the fight started in my office. I have a partner. He's Jewish. He was born in Israel, and then I have a Polish guy who works for me. He's my chief technician, and there was a Polish guy that was killed in the caravan that was helping people.
with the aid workers.
With the aid
which he
workers.
shouldn't have been there.
I said that too, and I try not to get in the middle, but of course it blew up into a fight in my office. Which,
Well, what was the other side? What was the fight exactly?
well, my partner, who's is the Jewish guy, he said, "Well, look, it's war, and that's what happens."
Yeah.
And the Polish guy was like, "Look, this guy was trying to go there and help people, and he shouldn't have gotten killed for it." It's a rough, it's a rough spot.
Again, the guy knew that most likely Hamas would kill him or kidnap him.
Well, he
Even
didn't
the
think Hamas
Egyptian-
was gonna
Why
kill him.
not? The Egyptian truck driver who drove in. There was videos of Egyptian truck drivers saying, "I don't want to come there anymore because the Palestinian people are attacking my trucks or trying to steal or rape me."
This is what the point I'm trying to say is. I'm sad that the Palestinian-Israeli conflict has come to New York. You see Jewish people and Arab people working
to the whole
together
world.
all over the city, and to see people now like at each other's throat is a very sad thing to me.
Well, all I can tell you, your boy Dershowitz, Alan Dershowitz,
Yeah.
okay, Mr. Great defense lawyer. So today,
Epstein Island guy.
Right, whatever. I like Dershowitz, whatever. But Dershowitz, he said that he would be the defense attorney for the Hamas leader Yahya
What?
Sinwar if he surrenders. It's all over the papers.
Did that guy go to Epstein Island too?
Well, he would represent.
Dershowitz is a Jewish name.
I know that Dershowitz is a real Jew. He used to live in Borough Park.
What the hell
He's
is
a big
wrong with
time.
him?
But he says that if the guy surrenders, he will give him his defense. He will.
Why?
help him. I don't know. I guess he wants him to surrender, but I like Dershowitz. I think he's.
Yeah,
up
but
to
did he
something.
get press out of this?
Oh, he got a lot of
For
press.
sure.
It was
So
all
of
over
course,
the
that's
place.
what it's all
We got a
about.
caller. We got a caller.
We got a caller.
All
Pick up the
right.
phone, man. I had some other stuff to talk about, but we'll talk about it. Who's on the phone? Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Yes, I'm in the middle of hearing your conversation that the Palestinians should not rebuild the whole stuff. Can I give my opinion?
Sure.
Absolutely.
They should absolutely be deported, each and every one. Shouldn't be killed. They should all be deported. They should be dumped into Arab countries where the Arabs will take care of them. There's no reason. There's 2 million Arabs in a Jewish country that want to. There will be peace. One thing. There's 2 million Arabs, a Jewish country that will just want to kill the Jews. There's
Well,
no reason for it.
Thank
What's your
you
opinion?
thank you for your call, but I want you to know something, that we're not even talking about the Arabs that live in Israel. Most of them are very calm and good, who are the Israeli citizens. It's like, we have citizens here in the United States. You can't differentiate between black and white and Asian and anything. Those Arab people, Arab citizens that live in Israel should not be deported because they are Israelis, as long as they're Israeli citizens. You're right. If they're not Israeli citizens, I think they should be deported. But even though in America, we're not deporting because we have safe cities, the migrants who are committing crimes. And the cops are not cooperating with ICE for no reason whatsoever. These guys who are committing crime because we're a safe city, or what is it called again?
Sanctuary.
Sanctuary city. It's not fair. It's not fair. These guys are crimes. We turn them over to ICE. I understand if they're not committing crimes, you just don't take people off
I've
the
had
street.
conversations with elected Democrats, and I've told them behind the scenes that you guys are trapped by your rhetoric. That sanctuary city thing is now killing you guys.
Right.
It's one thing to say New York's a generous city, it's an immigrant city, but when you say sanctuary, you are opening the door for everybody.
Right.
And we just don't have enough resources to take care of
We don't
everything.
have, and it's foolish. The $184 billion could have solved all homelessness that we gave Ukraine and the whole country of New York. Do you know that we have a law, by the way, in New York books that are just being taken off, that if you commit adultery, it's a felony? You know that?
Oh,
It's
yeah,
the
it's pretty
cool.
outdated.
It's a
You know,
pretty.
Heshy would
Well,
want
yeah,
that
it's-
back on
I
there.
do want it. It was a 1971 law.
politicians only, though,
Right,
the
right.
female
All the
ones.
politicians that cheat on your wives and husbands, you deserve to be punished. If you're married. If you're not married, you're allowed to do whatever you
You're
want to
allowed to
do.
screw around.
You're allowed to screw up.
Even our councilwoman from Sheepshead Bay?
Well, I call her a name that she's something else.
No, you
But-
cannot.
Why should
no,
you call her a name if she's not married and you're allowed to do as you please?
No. Stop it. I never said you're allowed to do as you please. You're allowed to, I mean, you can do
You're
it
not
without
a married
getting...
person. You do what you want.
No. There's a
la.
Bible. You can't be... Whatever. You can't do that. I mean, if
I
you
think
do...
we won, Nicole.
Got him.
But okay, yeah, but if you're married, you don't get that answer. Anyways, they just took the law off. We have another caller. Put him on
another
the
caller.
phone.
Bring him on.
Put him on.
Hey.
Hello, you on the air with Heshy, George, and Nicole?
Oh, hello, Heshy, George, and Nicole.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm Larry in Brooklyn. I haven't spoken to you in several years. What did you think on Friday when you felt the rumble of the earthquake? I thought
Friday?
it must
Yeah, it
be
was
a
Friday.
big
I thought it
truck
was
going
Sunday.
by,
It was
but then
Friday.
the rumble just kept on going. And you're an expert on buildings.
Yeah.
What was your thought when you felt that rumble of the earthquake?
I'll be honest with you, I happened to have been. I was calling George, and I was on my way. And George, I lost George. I couldn't get him on the phone,
I thought Heshy was going to get another mattress with all the business he was going to get.
and I couldn't reach George. And all of a sudden, George's wife tells me, "Hey, the earthquake, and there's an aftershocks." I said, "I didn't even feel it," because I went to a funeral, and we were just packed solid there, and we did see the coffin shake, but I thought she was just coming back. No, that's a bad joke.
No, I had a friend of mine who took me out for drinks the night before, so I thought, am I
No,
still hungover?
But it wasn't. It was. You're right. I was a little bit nervous about a lot of the buildings that are not structurally safe or middle of building or the foundations. But the truth of the matter is, New York has a law already on the books since I think in 1996 or 97 that every single new building has to be built for earthquake proof. Really? Every single building has to have earthquake, especially the high rises, must be built for earthquake, whatever, stuff like that. I know I've worked in a lot of this, especially the government buildings. So we do prepare for stuff like that. You're right, a lot of the older houses or older buildings don't have that. But really what I've seen over the last 30 years, the way people have built their beautiful concrete foundations and even their metal structures in the buildings, I can't tell you what it is, but I didn't see any major issues or I didn't hear of any major problems.
But the DOT went out. You saw that, right?
Yeah.
So they were a little worried about
Because
some stuff.
all their pipes are 100 years old and more, and they're always breaking even without it, just by cars driving over their pipes. So yeah, we need our infrastructure in New York City from piping is just disgusting, and they're forcing a lot of us. They're blaming us for pipes in the street that the city has to fix. They're saying in the house they're always trying to blame us for it. So you're right. Our city is spending the money incorrectly, and the $10 billion budget, which a normal person like me can figure out. Somehow the city council this month found $6 billion. They're going to give back to what the mayor took off. Where did you find $6 billion? Where did you find it? Because we don't have the other $20 billion that didn't exist beforehand.
I think they found it in your mattress.
George, you're fired.
But I thought for sure, Heshy, with the earthquake, you were going to pick up more clients.
I know, but a lot of my people think. By the way, we're going to take
another
we're going to take
caller? Oh,
another
that's great.
caller,
Let's
but I
do
want
it.
you to ask you a question. Do you believe that Iran is going to start a war with Israel?
Yes.
Why? Aren't they stupid? They're like a stupid country. I'm telling you now, they're a stupid country.
If Trump gets elected, no.
No, I believe
Really?
that. I
Yeah.
believe
Does
that.
that make a
I believe that's why Iran was scared to fire their weapons. That they have all these other little people because Iran knows that Israel will just blow them out
Israel
of the
will
world
demolish
like
them.
Gaza.
They're
See,
gonna try it
Kissinger said, he didn't say it about Trump, but he said there's a strategy called the madman theory, that they think Trump's a madman and they won't.
Trump and Putin.
Yeah.
boom. No, let's take our caller.
Let's take a caller. Hello, put him on. Whoever's on the phone. Who's calling? Welcome to the show.
Hi, this is James. I got one little question.
Hi, James.
If
Hello.
James Bond could no longer engage in psychotic violence, would he be thought of as self-loathing? You know,
James Bond is a fictional character.
If you ever seen Casino Royale, you know how he winds up. He blows the guy up in the airport. He gets this psychotic grin on his
That's
face.
a movie.
But
That's a-
afterward, he becomes a warm personality again.
James.
Can you really see that happening?
James, James, that's a fictional character, and you know what? I don't believe in those kind of spies. That even though I do know there are people that are spies, that America has black operations, and presidents have sent out our 3-digit agencies to kill, murder, kidnap, rob. But when President Trump takes home a couple of pieces of paper, we got to put him in jail
A
forever.
lot more than a couple pieces of
Immunity for a president
Boxes
is
for days.
excuse me, the box of paper. I don't care. Immunity for a president is just unacceptable
Not
to
when
go
you're
after.
no longer a president.
Sure, a president is a president forever.
Oh, please.
Come on, he gets a pension forever. A president is a president forever. And you know how many presidents have called old presidents back and asked them.
No one is above the law. That is how
Well,
this country works.
it doesn't work like that. I tell you. By the way, there's a mayor.
By the way, Richard Nixon said, as long as the president does it, it's okay.
It's correct.
Yeah, how'd that work out for him?
Well, he probably got framed a little bit.
You know he did. You know they set him up. The
Are
man
you
did-
kidding me, both of you?
Stop it. I love it. By the way, the Haifa mayor, Haifa, there's a city in Israel called Haifa.
It's a port city.
It's a great city. He's telling his name is Yina Yanav. He's telling everybody since they're in the north and there might be a war to start stocking up on food and supplies and so on. So be prepared that Israel and the Hezbollah now are going to go after it. But I'm telling you, Israel all has to do is take their little jets, blow up Iran. I know you have people there, but just blow up their capitals.
Who has people there?
What?
Who has people
We
there?
have Jews there. There's quite a bit of Jews in Iran.
Really?
Not that many. They're
Yeah,
Persian Jews. There's barely
a
any.
big No, my son's father-in-law went to Iran. Really, just now, about a year or so
Wait a
ago,
minute.
and there's a whole big Jewish community in synagogue where he said he prayed with like 500 religious people.
Are they insane?
I know.
Wait a minute. I need to look this up.
Iran
The
has
Jewish
a big
population of
Jewish,
Iran.
big Jewish community.
No, I know there's a lot of like
they're
Persian Jews, and that's where
they
they
don't
originate.
bother them. And there's even somebody
Oh,
in
shit,
government,
yeah.
and they're religious. I'm not talking conservative or reform or people that make believe they're Arabic and living there. They're religious Jews that have the whole
With the yarmulke and everything?
With the
There's
yarmulke
about
and hats.
15,000 of them left.
Yeah, religious Orthodox Jews.
Are they in a insane asylum? Are they crazy?
I know,
Like,
I know. I guess they couldn't leave.
Can we get them out of there?
Yeah, really.
I wish they were. By the way, Passover is coming. My organization, Sheva Sachem. I guess I don't know what happened with the sorry guys. Instagram on the little one went through, but we have our Passover boxes, Sheva Sachem. We do serve 153 different families, and you're all welcome to call me if you really need some food or boxes or whatever like that. So, we have that going. And my days are never off and my days are never free.
My buddy Dimitri Kugel gave out a bunch of matzahs to the Holocaust survivors. There's a home for Holocaust survivors here in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And he said these people look like they needed it. They were very thankful. And somebody has a big trust fund they don't know what to do with. You should give them some money over there.
This has got to be surreal for Holocaust survivors to be in this kind of environment again, where the whole world seems to be turning against Israel and everybody's blaming Jews for things. It's got to be.
And some real anti-Semitism coming out.
It's the likes of which I've never seen in my lifetime. It's got to be surreal for Holocaust survivors to see what happened on October 7th and then see the global response and know that they're living through it a second time.
Well, I can tell you one thing, that if my father was alive, he wouldn't be happy. He wanted me to join the Israeli army. I never did. Too bad. I wish I would have. We almost became Israeli. I love those people there. It's not just because that they're Jews, because they go out every day and they go out knowing that their lives could end, and they dance and they sing.
They live like
and,
no
and-
tomorrow.
and there's no
Yeah.
tomorrow. And they take care of their fellow man. They take care of their children. They educate their children. They love. They actually love. Golda Meir said, the Jewish people, each one of us are important. The Arab people don't believe that. The Arab people, go blow yourself up, kill yourself up. They're not fighting for land. They're fighting to destroy the Jews. When the Jews are not fighting, the Jews are just looking to defend themselves. That's a fact. And you know what? October 7th, you're right, it wasn't the Holocaust. Only 1,700 or 1,200 Jews got killed. We're tired of it. Even one Jew is like destroying the whole world. And I want you to know, when you come to Israel with me, you will see a different way how I show
going
you
to Israel?
Israel. I'm going to
I
take
don't
When are
you.
you coming?
Why? He's taking me on the private jet.
That's right. When we get elected,
I don't get an invite.
if you
What kind of party is
Are you
this?
kidding me? You're my legal advisor. You're going to con us into the.
And believe me, we're gonna need you on on speed dial.
Let us go to Mr. Trump now. Our show is coming to the end soon, and I want to talk about President Trump. you're bankrupting the boy. You're bankrupting. That's illegal. You're going after him. You're letting Menendez, what's that guy's Democrat from New Jersey? What's his name? Menendez. They're letting him postpone his case because he's not well or it's busy.
Well, that guy should be in jail.
Okay,
I mean,
right.
That guy is.
And you're letting criminals, I know for a fact, postpone their court cases 2 years, 3 years. Maybe you don't want to push off Trump's civil cases, but his criminal case, he's running an election. Give him a break.
So what?
Give him a break. Everybody else could postpone
But
their
Nicole,
cases. What's the
don't you think?
rush?
But Nicole, let's take the flip side on it. You don't think this prosecution?
We're going to
of
say
him,
goodbye to WSNR, goodbye to WNEB, our fans, and goodbye to W whatever you are in Florida.
Doesn't the prosecution of him help him? Like, people are feeling bad for him. They want to come out for vote for him. It just backs up his theory. If they can go after me, they can go after you. I mean, I think this is really starting to backfire on them.
I think on that theory, you're absolutely right. It seems.
But
I mean, like, I don't understand the
It doesn't
grand
make
strategy. here,
But George,
you know?
it doesn't make a difference with the fake votes that the Democrats have. Whether they backfire, again, you can't win
do you
if
mean
they
by
have.
fake votes?
You
What
know
does
that
that
the
mean?
last election they had fake votes.
Oh my God, you're still on. Really?
George,
Are you on this?
There
George?
wasn't a fake vote, but there was definitely a massive ballot harvesting on a scale.
come
never
on,
seen
you don't
before.
say you don't believe that
Enough
at
to
all.
change an entire election.
Yeah.
11,000
There's
votes
a great-
is not a lot of votes. 11,000
There's
votes.
a great movie on it by Dinesh D'Souza, and he breaks it down really well. I forgot the name of the movie. It escapes me now, but I mean, if you have an open mind, I would send you the video. It's definitely out there, and you take a look at it, and we can talk about it
Come
next
on,
week.
stealing one vote, whatever. But we're going to go to another topic quickly. You're a landlord, and you know the squatter rule. They now want to change and make.
I mean, who would go on vacation more than 30 days now?
But there's
Yeah,
one,
tell me
right,
about it.
and
Yeah,
there's
that's
one
wild.
guy who says that it's costing him $100,000 to get a squatter out. But it's not that he's a special case. Anybody that wants to do any eviction today in New York City, and if you have like a $2,000 rental, which it's not, most of rentals today are more money, but just if you have $2,000 a month in income, you're looking at 2 years to get evicted. That's $50,000.
Did you hear somebody prove residency with a Shake Shack? Shake Shack
No,
receipt
but it's
for delivery?
right. But again, the cops can't get involved in a civil case, so they should give them right. But just like that, breaking and entering. I understand that you want to be a squatter, which means is like now I have a client. I have somebody that moved into an apartment. He passed away, and some other guy said he was related, and he took over the apartment. He has no proof, so something like that I can maybe understand that he moved in because he was friendly or somehow he got into that apartment. But if somebody, you have no access to this building, and you got into this building with no lease, with nobody telling you that you're allowed to get in there, and now you became a squatter for 30 days, that is called breaking and entering, whether it's now or 6 years from now. If you steal somebody's deed on their house, and you find out about it 3 years later, that's a criminal thing. It's not like a squatter rule that I get to keep
By the way,
house.
some of the Democrats have jumped on passing some legislation with the squatters.
But it's going to take years before it
But
passes.
but you have to be careful they don't intertwine it with good cause eviction, because you can't trust them. You know.
Well, Mayor
can't
Adams,
trust them.
Mayor Adams got to do something about
Yeah,
that.
it's a really archaic law, unfortunately.
By the way, one last thing. Colombia, like you said, suspended students over anti-Israel event that they let a terrorist, somebody who, a speaker who is like part of the terrorist organization to speak at Columbia University. So they suspended those people at that event. I think that's a good thing.
About time.
Yeah, but there was also a video of a.
Sounds like the donors had enough.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Pretty
yet.
much.
I hope so. All I can tell you
Because
is
Colombia's being sued, by the way. So it's really important to understand the context. It's about the context, right?
Right.
It's important to understand the context here. Is Colombia is being sued by the Jewish students,
Good.
like a Jewish student organization, because of all the clownery that went on
And not feeling
in the
safe,
last
I
few
think.
months, and not feeling safe that the school failed to protect them. So now, Colombia is going to have to overcorrect and do things like this for the better PR.
well, either way, it's a good thing.
It's a great thing.
Was the
Just
guy
understand
actually
why.
a terrorist, or was he a
He-
convicted terrorist?
He's
and
not
he
a
was-
terrorist, but he speaks for the terrorist or represents these terrorist
Oh,
organizations.
so it's an active terrorist group?
Yeah, and he
No.
was a speaker
Wow.
there. They invited him over there. I want to ask you
Who
one
sanctioned
question.
that?
You know, Marjorie Taylor Greene. What's her name?
Marjorie
Taylor Greene.
Idiot and a half.
Is she? I mean, even I believe she's an idiot.
Oh, thank God.
Okay.
She had a little too much at the.
Is she Republican? Is she Democrat? She keeps
She's
trying
a
to knock out.
Republican.
I know she is, and she's trying to knock out our leader every single time. She's supposed to stand in line. We got rid of. I got you. You got rid of.
She's one of yours, Heshy. She's yours.
I know. What is that, George? What we allow her? I mean,
She has too much power because the majority is only like 1 or 2 votes, and it could be endangered. We should never. I don't know who thought knocking out George Santos was a good idea. I don't like George Santos. He's a liar. I mean, he actually donated to a candidate of mine, and we gave back the money within 24 hours.
yeah, why?
Not you, Heshy.
Okay.
You know, it wasn't you, Heshy. And
Heshy will take it from
I think
anybody.
he's radioactive.
I'll take money from anybody.
But you know, why would you knock him out if you don't have a sure candidate that's going to win?
Well, thank you for listening to our show, everybody. Thank you for calling into the show. Play our music, George.
Good night,
Nicole,
y'all.
I love
Thank you very much.